Greater Good Radio. Connect, learn, heal, and grow.
Psychedelic is a word that was invented in the 1950s by Dr. Humphrey Osmond, and he was doing work with LSD. And he was in communication with Aldous Huxley, who wrote the book Island and Doors of Perception. And so the word was created to mean psychedelics, so it's mind manifesting. So in a broadest interpretation of the word, dreams are mind manifesting, meditation is mind manifesting, psychedelic drugs that bring things to the surface are mind manifesting, hyperventilation, breathing. There's a lot of different things. So I've tried to normalize psychedelics by making people understand that the states of consciousness come not just from the drugs, but from all different ways. So I'd say first off, it's about bringing things to the surface like your dreams. The difference is, of course, that you can't wake up. In a dream, if you have something scary, you can kind of wake up, but here you got to power your way through it and surrender to it. The other thing to help people understand is that when we think about Western culture, where did sort of Western culture begin was with the Greeks, thousands of years ago. And so the Greeks were the ones that started democracy. And they also had the longest running mystery ceremony in the world that we know of, from 1600 BC to almost 400 AD, and it was called the Eleusinian Mysteries. And it was involving a psychedelic potion that people would drink, and it would sort of teach them the death rebirth process. So psychedelics have been used for thousands of years by humanity. All different cultures have used different psychedelics, different mushrooms, different peyote from cactuses, ayahuasca, putting leaves and vines together, iboga, which is the root of a plant in Africa. So everywhere you go, different human cultures have had different ways to alter their consciousness. We know a lot about shamanic drumming is one way to do that too. So psychedelic is something that really is rooted in humanity and human evolution, and we have many other experiences other than just through substances. So I think to try to help people understand what psychedelics do, it's still really hard to describe in a way that when people, let's say they take their first psilocybin trip, the words didn't quite capture what it does. Mm-hmm. So I try to help people understand that there's classic psychedelics that are like the LSD or mushrooms or peyote, ayahuasca. And what they tend to do is weaken your sense of self. So we have this kind of ego orientation that we're there. It's about protecting our body, our human life, looking for threats, looking for opportunities, but it's about our individual self. And that's important. We need to have that part of our brain that looks out for us as individuals. But we're part of communities. We're part of something much bigger. Humans are very much social. And so this part of our identification as an individual gets weakened under the classic psychedelics. And so people lose their sort of orientation as an individual, and you can often merge into something larger and bigger. And that's something that people get a lot of strength from, a lot of courage, a lot of peace. People talk about it as this unitive mystical state. And then also psychedelics bring to the surface things that have been repressed. And that's where you have therapy to help people process the emotions. So I think when people think about psychedelics, maybe the closest, in addition to dreams, is hyperventilation.
If you resonate with Greater Good Radio, please join our community at www.greatergoodradio.com, where you can get access to exclusive content and offerings. Hope to see you soon.